Let's get right to it. Before you do anything else this week, go to this website, which is linked below, and make your voice heard. With just a few clicks, you can let Congress know how important it is to replenish the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. It's one of the most important things you'll do this week. Help us be loud and unified in our effort to get this important lifeline replenished. This fund is one of the things we hear most often about. And when we do hear from you, you fall into one of two camps. You're either a restaurateur who got help from this federal fund, and it made a huge difference in saving your restaurant during the pandemic. By the way, the CRA is fighting to make it so those funds are not taxed as income at the state level. Or you're someone who got left behind when the fund ran out. Today, I'm going to give you a rundown of the numbers. If you applied for a grant and didn't get one, you are not alone. Nationally, there were more than 278,000 eligible applicants for the RRF. Only 101,000 actually got a grant. Here's what those numbers look like in California. More than 36,000 applicants were deemed eligible. Of those, nearly 16,000 received a grant. In other words, only 44% of California restaurants who applied for help from the RRF actually got it. This may not have been so critically important to all of you if COVID were truly over. If that were the case, restaurants would have a much better chance of recovering from the enormous losses of the last 2 years. But in January, 89% of restaurants nationwide reported a decline in customer demand for indoor dining. That's according to a survey of restaurants done by our partners at the National Restaurant Association. In California, 54% of you reduced your hours of operation. 29% of you have closed on days you'd normally be open. 39% of you reduced your seating capacity. And even though restaurants are not currently closed by any government mandate, 8% of you reported that you are only offering off-premises meals. For restaurants that received RRF dollars, here's how it helped. In California, a whopping 97% of those who received a grant said it was more likely that they'd be able to stay in business during the pandemic. 35% of those who applied for a grant and didn't get one said it is unlikely they will be able to stay in business beyond the pandemic. The same research from the NRA estimates that 135,000 California jobs were saved by the Revitalization Fund. And if it is replenished, another 150,000 jobs would be saved in our state. There isn't much that Congress agrees on these days, but we hope that when they're visiting their home districts, they see what we see: a lot of restaurants that are still struggling. This may be our final chance to make one last big push for the fund to be replenished. The number of chances to be included in a congressional bill have dwindled, so much of this could be decided in the month of February. To help us, add your name to the cause by clicking on the link below. I'm Sabrina, and that's the news you need to know.